7 completely false ideas about the 1950s. 1. Prices were far lower. A gallon of gas cost 27 cents on average. That's equivalent to $2.60 in the 2020s. Items like milk were more expensive in the 1950s. The price of a gallon of milk was around 94 cents. This equates to roughly $9 today. Men in 1953 had an average income of $3,200 per year. Women earned only $2,000. In many urban communities, poverty was the norm. In the 1950s, the railroads still dominated domestic travel. Vacationers rarely went to resorts. National parks and public beaches were more popular. 2. Teens were more respectful and chaste. Television made the teenager a target for marketers. Teens saw commercials aimed at adults. They found themselves compelled to act like them. Teenage birth rates soared throughout the 1950s. In 1950, there were just over 80 births per 1,000. In 1957, there were 96.3. The 1950s also saw an explosion of juvenile delinquency. The reasons were often attributed to rock and roll music. It led to an almost obsessive fear among adults. What was considered delinquent could be innocent. Teens chewed gum in class or failed to attend class at all, but there is little to indicate they were more respectful. 3. Entertainment was less violent. Popular television programs included numerous westerns. They featured guns, fistfights, and knife fights. Several crime dramas serialized on television. They drew criticism for gratuitous violence. The 1950s was the heyday of the noir genre. It often depicted violent crimes of passion. 4. Commercial aviation was rare and expensive. There were no security checks and no searches. Passengers presented their tickets and walked to the plane. Most aircraft offered more space per passenger. Smoking was allowed on virtually all flights. Throughout the 1950s, commercial aviation grew steadily. Prices went down and more routes were added. Airports steadily improved and expanded. 5. Americans didn't buy on credit. Most merchants offered credit to their customers. Goods were often charged to accounts. Diners Club made its first appearance in 1950 in New York. American Express began offering cards in 1958. Accounts had to be fully settled monthly. Buying on credit became an American habit. Personal savings rates had dropped substantially. 6. America had the best technology in the world. The U.S. had the world's largest navy. Americans believed in their technology and innovations. They drove the best cars. Its commercial airliners were the best in the world. Its scientists and engineers were exploring space. The first satellite orbited the Earth in October 1957, but it wasn't launched by the U.S. America lagged behind the Soviet Union in space exploration. 7. Television images of the 1950s are accurate. There were 4 networks: CBS, NBC, ABC, and Dumont. The evening news programs were short. They lasted just 15 minutes in the beginning. The entertainment featured many sitcoms. They were all about idealistic suburban families. The programs ignored the problems of the day